Churches are not immune to child abuse. In fact, minors in churches can unwittingly become uniquely vulnerable to predators for many reasons. We'll cover those reasons soon. But first, let's look at the responsibility that churches and ministry leaders have to protect minors and the vulnerable from abuse. Before getting into the legal responsibility of churches when it comes to the well-being of minors, let's talk about the spiritual responsibilities. Abuse is a spiritual and moral violation of God's law and character. The Bible is abundantly clear about God's view of child abuse of any kind. Whether it's sexual abuse, abuse of authority, or other mental or physical abuse, the Bible condemns it all. What's more, we see Jesus' approach to children when he valued their participation in his teaching and helpfulness in his ministry. Abuse of any and every kind causes long-term harm, often both physically and emotionally. And since those instances of abuse in churches often include someone in spiritual authority, long-term spiritual harm is inflicted as well. The harm caused to minors in these tragic and sinful incidences cannot be understated. The primary and most important victim of abuse, and therefore the most important to protect, is the minor. But there are secondary victims of abuse in such cases. For example, whole families are harmed and scarred by abuse. Church bodies lose trust for one another, and church organizations lose the trust of their communities. The abuse of a minor is often the beginning of the end for many churches where such terrible events take place. It's difficult and many times impossible for a church to continue to operate as a beacon of hope in a community where abuse has happened or been made possible by the leadership of the church. The organization of the local church is responsible for providing safe environments for minors when they gather together on church property or at church functions. Further, the organization is responsible for the nature of interactions between adults and minors that are introduced during church events, even if those interactions happen outside the purview of the church. This responsibility extends to legal liability as well. Due to the increased risk of abuse in churches, some churches carry insurance that will cover court costs in case abuse occurs in their church body. However, the best insurance policy against the impacts of abuse is a thorough background check policy, a strong training program, and strict behavior policies for all volunteers who work with or near minors. As they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. In this case, at least for the potential victims of abuse, more than an ounce of prevention is required.